Remember that 1350 statistic that they push on us all the time. There's a reason why they repeat that over and over and over and over again, whether it's true or not, whether they know it's true or not. Right now, Fox News can come out and say that we lied about the 1350% statistics about black people, and they will still push it on us. Why? Because it's witchcraft. 1350 is a spell. It's witchcraft that they put onto you. It's no different than when they come on and they repeat 24/7 that black women have the most abortion, which I've done a video on. It's witchcraft. It's spell. They repeat it, they repeat it, they repeat it. 13% of the population, and they truly think that black people really believe that we've been 13% of the population. You really think that we believe those statistics? They know we don't believe those statistics, but again, they're witchcraft and it's spellcraft, and they know if they constantly repeat it and they constantly say it, it's going to be true. They say that we're only 13% of the population because they can't get us below 13% of the population. The American Negro, the American Shemitic black man and black woman have spiritual insurance that no other race or no other nation of people have on this world. We've been blessed by the creator of this whole place to say that you will number this like the sands of the sea. They're not going to take you out. There's going to be a remnant in the last days of you, whether they like it or not. They're going to try to take you out, but they're not going to be able to. That's why they call us roaches. That's why they test on our women. That's why they tested on our men, because they know they can't get us past 13% of the population. They've tried. So that's why, like I said, they refer to us as roaches, because they know we can't go away. We won't die. That's why they come up with the terms that, oh, black people can't feel pain. They survive more than us. They put us through harsher conditions because they expect us to survive it, because they know we're the only race of people with spiritual insurance. Under the covenant that we have and under the prophecy that was put onto us, we're not going anywhere until this is all said and done. Or at least a percentage of us are not going anywhere until this is all said and done. You're not going to be able to breed us out. You're not going to be able to poison our wells. There's nothing they can do. So they know this. So they say we're 13% of the population because they can't get us any lower than that. They cannot get us any lower than 13% of the population. I said this 2 years ago, and it's funny. Just the last year, I started seeing a bunch of channels that I've watched, and a bunch of channels starting to repeat that and say that too. So that's cool that a bunch of people are also have come to the same idea as that. That's all praises to the Most High. That's cool. But here's the thing, it's a spell where they say they're constantly saying we're 13% of the population, 50% of the crime rate. They want black people to be 50% of the crime. Listen, these people swear they hate these ghetto YNs, they hate ghetto black people, they hate black people that steal. They love them. They love Tyrone. They love Jamal, who has no intentions of going anywhere in life. They love Jamal, that does nothing but smoke weed and want to become a rapper or want to become a ball star, because those are the only black people they can compete with. Those are the only black people they feel superior to. The black criminal, they love him. Thank you. We can lock you up. You have given us full authority to do whatever we want with you. We can lock you up. We can break up your family now that you're locked up and you're not in the home. We want more black criminals. That's why they push the rap industry so hard. That's why they obsess and they push rap, vile and violent rap music so hard. It's funny because the curses have reversed onto their kids. Their kids actually consume it and actually follow it more than we do now, because that's just how things go. We're spiritually insured, but they know we can't go past 13% of the population. So because we can't go past this number, they constantly say we're only that percentage of the population, because spiritually they want our numbers to stay that low. If we can't get you past 13%, if we can't get you fucking roaches past 13% of the population, we're going to continue putting witchcraft on you so that your numbers don't grow past that number. So they constantly put on repeat. What do they put on repeat? 1350, 1350, 1350, 1350, 1350, 1350, 1350. They love that because it's witchcraft. They're trying to speak it into existence. They want to speak us to only be into existence, only being 13% of the population, but 50% of the crime stats. They want that to come true, so they constantly repeat it in hopes that it does. Listen, they speak in witchcraft and spellcraft all the time over us. You have to watch how they do it. So when they say the 1350 thing, it's nothing but blatant witchcraft and spellcraft that they're trying to put over our population to keep us as 13% of the population, but 50% of the crime rate. They want our young men committing as many crimes as possible so they can lock us up in as many numbers and have an excuse to take out as many of us as possible. It's simple as that. Now, how do you know this? Reverse the spells that they try to put on us when they try to come up and say, well, you black women have the most abortions. Reverse that witchcraft onto them and rebuke that spell. We don't have the most abortion. Your women have the most abortions. Your women are the one frolicking around, throwing themselves in the street, ripping off their shirts, screaming and begging the white patriarchy to let them abort their babies. That's your woman, and your women are going to keep on doing it, and your birth rates are going to continue to drop. Watch as their fucking face goes from, what did you just say? You can't speak like that, black people. You can't say that. Stop saying that. Don't say that. They're going to quickly stomp that fire out, because spiritually you reverse the spell onto them, and you as a black man or black woman have a higher spiritual authority over them. So the curse or the words that come out of your mouth are going to create a realer and a quicker reality than what they do. So when you say, we don't have the most abortions, your women do, and your women are going to continue to have the most abortions, immediately it's no longer a game to them. It's not funny anymore. They need to dip, duck, and run out the fucking conversation, because they can't have that spoken over them, because they know there's a possibility. They know that you have a higher percentage of that being spoken into existence than they do. Your tongue is more powerful than theirs. So reverse all these spells. When they say that 50% crime rate, bring up. You need to have historical. Black people, you need to start reading some books and to get some historical context to step on the throat of these racists, of these wicked spellcasters, because it's simply not true. They know that 50% crime rate is not true. How did black people go from the 1960s being hunted, being lynched, literally being lynched and being chased by police and being chased by mobs of white people because they wanted to vote? How did the group of literal terrorizers go from being viewed as angels, innocent people who are just having their communities ruined by these black and brown people, to being the face of crime? Is witchcraft. They put you as the face of everything evil in America that they were, as projection. We are the ones that do the most murdering. We are the ones that have committed the most abortions. We are the ones that don't care about children. We are the ones that are absolutely evil when it comes to that. But we're going to push it as them being the face of it, as to use witchcraft and spellcraft, because it comes true, and we do it, and we put it on constant repeat in our newspapers, in our news cycles, and watch as it comes true. We constantly push. That's why those videos in the 1980s and the 1970s and the 1990s, those starter jacket killings, black people killing each other over starter jackets, black people killing each other over Jordans, those weren't true. That was a spell. That was a ritual that was a ritual being performed on the black race, because they had the power at that time. Believe it or not, they had some power over you at the time. They don't have it anymore. That's why none of their witchcraft and spellcraft works on them. That's why it reverses on them. But at a period of time, they could put crack in our streets and watch us run around with a chicken, like a chicken with his head cut off. They can implement gangs into our communities and watch us run around and destroy each other. They can do these things at a certain time, but those things had a time limit, and they can't do them anymore. So it's now time we reverse these spells on to them because of what they've done. They don't have any verbal power over you anymore. No more can that 1350 be blasted over their news waves and work on us. It's going to eventually switch on to them. They know their prisons are absolutely low. They know the black crime rate is so low, it's ridiculous, but they're never going to report it. They're never going to report the low crime rates in the black community. They're never going to report the low dysfunctional things that we're doing in our community. They're going to always make it seem as though we're still up to our no good antics, and we're still the face of these dysfunctional movements. They try to push the black man as the face of every dysfunctional movement in America, whether it's the LGBTQ with Diddy. Epstein all of a sudden got off the hooks, and now all of a sudden it's black men like R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, and what's his name, Sean Combs, are now the face of Hollywood sex parties and Hollywood sex scandals and these elite Illuminati parties. And black people are now the face of that now. They try to shove black people as the face of the trans community, as the LGBT community. It's just nothing but witchcraft, and it's not going to work anymore. It doesn't work anymore, and they're frustrated by it. That's why they're trying so hard to get us out in the streets. They were not following their holidays anymore. They lost their energy with that. We're not voting in their elections anymore, so they lost their energy with that. They were not celebrating we're not in their churches anymore. The churches is a huge one that they lost. The church is a huge hit that they took with getting our energy. But nothing they do works with us anymore. The spells are over. Our time is up. our punishment is over.